Part 5. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section Author, 10 Miles. Chapter 41. After hearing Zhang Chen's words, Zhou Wuxiang and the three people, who were originally excited, all showed nervous expressions. It seemed that, as they had worried before, Zhang Chen was not very satisfied with their cultivation speed. However, cultivation is not the only criterion for combat power. There are many Taoist heirs here this time. I hope you can perform well. As Zhang Chen spoke, he looked at the giant Taoist traditions such as Wengxian Tower, Dian Immortal Sect, and Four Spirit Immortal Clan. Except for the Changsheng Taoist family, the Imperial Clan Kong family, and the Spiritual Lake, no descendants of those top Taoist traditions have arrived. Naturally, Zhang Chen just couldn't arouse much interest in this. Don't worry, young master, we will do our best. When Zhou Wuxiang and the other three heard this, they immediately nodded heavily with solemn expressions. In terms of cultivation, they failed to meet Zhang Chen's expectations. In terms of combat power, they naturally cannot let Zhang Chen down anymore. The cultivation level is covered by the secret treasure and cannot be sensed. But judging from its divine pressure, it should have reached the realm of gods, right? It took 3 years to go from the ancient god realm to the heavenly god realm. You underestimate the chaos divine body too much. Indeed, with the chaos body's amazing qualifications, even if the descendants of the demon sect have not entered the supreme realm, they are at least in the god king realm. In other words, it is very possible that the combat power of the descendants of the demon sect is now comparable to the supreme level. When Zhang Chen looked at Zhou Wuxiang and the other two people, the countless creatures who gathered there were sensing and guessing one after another. Even the giants of the older generation were quite curious, but they did not dare to use secret methods to perceive. On Zhang Chen's shoulders the eyeless raven is the incarnation of the 9 demons old man. If they dare to use secret methods to detect Zhang Chen, they may be killed by the 9 demons old man in an instant. Of course, even if they cannot know Zhang Chen's specific cultivation level, with those elders you can also get a rough idea of the giant's vision. In terms of cultivation, he should have started at the God King realm. In terms of combat power, Zhang Chen's ancient God realm can suppress the God King realm. Now he is afraid that he has reached the supreme level. What a terrible sense of oppression. As for Dao Wushang, Zhang Qingyu, Xia Yuanyi, Chen Jinglei and other young geniuses, their expressions were solemn. The situation was exactly as they expected 3 years ago. Now Zhang Chen is so powerful that they can only look up to him. The emperor's son of the Kong family, the descendant of the divine lake, who met Zhang Chen for the first time, also had solemn eyes. Originally, based on the information about their strength, it was very possible to win the opportunity of the emperor's tomb. But now, Zhang Chen's appearing, it disrupted their plan. In front of Zhang Chen, their strength was completely inadequate, not even on the same level. Sting. While countless monks were guessing, Zhang Chen looked at the sky, the oppressed storm vortex. On Zhang Chen's shoulder, the eyeless black raven, its wings swaying slightly. The void was immediately torn apart like a rag. Boom. A vast and unparalleled terrifying imperial power, like it was like a flash flood and a tsunami, sweeping across unbridled. This imperial power. At this moment, even the older giants were slightly moved. This is the tomb of an ancient emperor. In an instant, the countless creatures who had gathered reacted and kept exclaiming. This also made countless forces suddenly realize. No wonder the Kong family, as an imperial clan, and the ancient forbidden land of the spiritual lake, would directly have descendants to visit in person. The opportunity of the tomb of the ancient emperor is far beyond that of the ordinary tomb of the great emperor. The ancient emperor, that is the title of the Invincible, can jump across realms to defeat immortals in the realm of the emperor. Even after entering the realm of the immortal, he can still be invincible in the same realm, and even jump across realms to kill enemies. To a certain extent, the opportunity of the ancient emperor's path is no less than that of the immortal realm. If they had known this earlier, those top orthodoxy would probably have sent out the best forced successors came. Whoa! As exclamations spread, Jiang Chen stepped forward, took Zhou Wuxiang and the others, and escaped directly into the ancient tomb in the center of the whirlpool. As for the eyeless raven, naturally he stayed in the outside world. With the strength of the eyeless raven, if it breaks into the emperor's tomb, it will instantly cause the emperor's tomb to collapse. Although the eyeless raven is only equivalent to an incarnation of the nine-demon old man. But it is so monstrous. The power is far beyond what an ancient emperor's tomb can withstand. Walk. Seeing the four Zhongchen people entering the ancient tomb, the emperor of the Kong family and the descendants of Shenling Lake were the first to react and immediately followed them in. Dao Wushang, Zhang Qingyu, Xia Yuanyi, Chen Jinglei and others looked at each other. They also set off and rushed into the whirlpool ancient tomb. Originally, they just wanted to see how much Zhang Chen's combat power had reached after 3 years of seclusion. But now, with the opportunity of an ancient emperor in front of them, it was indeed a bit strange to ignore it like this. Unwilling to give in. As the top Taoist geniuses set off, other younger generations of creatures swarmed in. In a short time, millions of young geniuses rushed into the emperor's tomb. During this period, there were still strong men of the older generation who wanted to fish in troubled waters and sneak in, but were directly wiped out in the void. The strong men of the top orthodox traditions such as Wengxian Tower and Dian Immortal Sect had seen the eyeless raven without any trace. Although they did not sense it fluctuating, but they had a strong intuition. It was the eyeless raven that wiped out the older monks. Of course, no one dared to say anything about this. Let's not talk about it, this is a battle between the younger generation. The elders broke the rules by sneaking in. Just because the eyeless raven is the incarnation of the 9 demons, no one dares to object. Oh! After all the young geniuses entered the tomb of the Whirlpool Emperor, a mysterious fairy light appeared, fell on the Emperor's tomb. Immediately, the scene in the Emperor's tomb was clearly revealed. The young geniuses who entered the Emperor's tomb naturally appeared one by one. That is, this naturally attracted the attention of countless Taoists, who all looked at the source of the mysterious fairy light. But at the moment of seeing it, all the powerful Taoists in the 5 regions had their expressions stagnant, showing disbelief. In that void, there was a vast and glorious area. A corner of the ancient heaven of unknown size was exposed, covering almost half of the sky. Ancient times, heaven. This naturally shocked those top cults. Even if this is the tomb of an ancient emperor, it is impossible for the ancient heaven to manifest, right? Of course, those top cults who heard the news vaguely guessed it. Is it because of Taisha Demon Son? The manifestation of the ancient heavenly court is definitely for the Taisha Demon Son who has been in seclusion for 3 years. After all, there have been rumors before that the Lord of the ancient heavenly palace attaches great importance to the holy son of the demon sect. Now it seems that this is probably not just rumor, has it? Among the creatures present, the only one who didn't react was the eyeless raven. At the level of the 9-demon old man, he naturally sensed the arrival of the ancient heaven very early. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 42. At this time, the 4 Zhongchen people who entered the ancient tomb appeared in a vast secret realm. This emperor's tomb seems to be directly formed by refining a secret realm. On the distant land, ancient cities rise from the ground, and in the sky, treasure pavilions and fairy towers rise and fall. At the end of heaven and earth, there is a fairy mountain looming. From time to time, divine treasures can be seen channeling spirits, and ancient medicines can take shape. At a glance, this secret world is like a fairyland on earth, full of opportunities. East. Zhang Chen ignored those treasures, his eyes loomed with double pupils, and he looked at the bright sun in the east. Yan'er, Yuan and Zhou Wuxiang naturally looked down upon the resources of those city treasure pavilions. A Taisha demon sect. The background of ordinary treasures and magical objects cannot seduce them. Whoosh! Whoosh! Just when Zhang Chen sensed it, two divine lights, as fast as two lightning bolts, broke through the air at an extremely fast speed. Those two rays. Shen Guang is the emperor's son of the Kong family and the descendant of Shenling Lake. Their target is the big sun in the eastern sky. Obviously, these two lineages have already figured out the situation of this ancient tomb. Therefore, the moment they came in, they rushed straight towards the big sun. Buzzing. At this moment, the void in the distance suddenly started to ripple like water. A rather terrifying wave. The Tao of space spreads out, causing people to have strong palpitations. This void is blocked. Kong Baidao and Shen Yantian immediately stopped and looked at Zhang Chen with solemn expressions. In this kind of space Taoism, there is no fluctuation of the emperor, and it is obviously not a restriction in the ancient tomb. Then there is only one possibility. Zhang Dust. As soon as I entered, I met Taisha demons. This luck is really bad. Outside the ancient tomb, the eyes of countless forces were focused on the area where Zhang Chen was. After seeing Kong Baidao and Shen Yantian being targeted by Zhang Chen, heated discussions arose. About the Kong family and Shenling Lake, the faces of the powerful elders were solemn, and their nervousness and worry could not be concealed. Although Kong Baidao and Shen Yantian both had the cultivation level of the ancient gods. In terms of combat power, they could even touch the level of gods. But 3 years ago, being able to overwhelm Zhang Chen, who is in the God King realm, is completely incomparable. Compared with the urgency of the Kong family and the spiritual lake, other orthodox orders are quite interested. Although the strength of Kong Baidao and Kong Baidao are far apart, at any rate, it's worth Zhang Chen's move. In ancient tomb. Just in time, I'll give you some practice. Zhang Chen, who blocked Kong Baidao and the two of them with the space avenue, had no intention of continuing to take action. Yes. Yan'er, Yuan and Zhou Wuxiang listened to the order and immediately stepped out and walked towards Kong Baidao and the others. 3 against 2. Judging from the number of people, Zhou Wuxiang and the 3 of them have the advantage. However, if it comes from cultivation, even if they are on par, that's a bit far behind. Among the 3, only Zhou Wuxiang is entering the ancient god realm for the first time. Yan'er is only at the 9th level of the true god realm, and as for Yuan, he is only half a step into the true god. But Zhou Wuxiang is the 3rd level. However, they are not timid at all, and even have a high fighting spirit. They all have amazing bloodlines and physiques, and the gap in cultivation can be made up for by combat prowess. Kill. Immediately, the 3 of them immediately used their killing skills and blasted out with force. Zhou Wuxiang's whole body was filled with the true meaning of gods and demons, as if the gods and demons from ancient times had descended, enough to shake the world. Yan'er formed seals with his hands. The vast and majestic Taiyan energy seemed to sweep across the sky like a mountain torrent and a tsunami, overwhelming the earth. The ape Wu unlocked its bloodline, and its entire body was filled with demonic patterns, turning into a 3-headed and 6-armed demon ape that could shatter the sky at every turn. The bloodline is unsealed. Kong Baidao and Shen Yantian, their eyes slightly focused, did not dare to be careless, and immediately faced them with all their strength. Kong Baidao's eyebrows were filled with visible imperial patterns, exuding the ancient and vast imperial Dao artistic conception. This imperial Dao artistic conception is not an ordinary great emperor. The artistic conception is comparable and contains the true meaning of the ancient emperor's way. Divine fire. On Shen Yantian's body, there were rolling divine flames burning up, and he instantly turned into a terrifying fire man. The shocking and vast power of fire was like the ancient fire god coming to the world, enough to burn down all the heavens and all realms. Boom! Boom! Immediately, the deafening sound of bombing resounded, and the land with a radius of tens of thousands of miles was transformed into a battlefield of destruction. There was a riot of Taiyan energy, the explosion of the true meaning of gods and demons, the transformation of the demon ape into thousands, and the ancient emperor's Deo pattern wantonly. There are world-destroying divine fires surging. The impact of such ferocious and destructive Taoism has shocked many elders in the divine realm. It has to be said that the talents of the geniuses who have appeared in this life are all terrifying. Kong Bai Dao, God Xia Tian, Zhou Wuxiang, and others, looking at the 3,000 states, are far from the top. But even so, with the qualifications they have shown, as long as they grow up smoothly, they will definitely become a giant in the future. It is conceivable that, the talents of this young genius in this life are so terrifying. Sigh. As for Zhang Chen, he glanced at the chaotic battlefield, and disappeared in a flash. With the strength of Zhou Wuxiang and the other two, they had to deal with Kong Bai Dao and Shen Yantian. The difficulty is naturally extremely great. However, only by going through the hardships of life and death can people continuously break through their own limits and reach the peak. In Zhang Chen's view, the limits of Zhou Wuxiang and the others are far from being discovered. Kong Bai Dao and the others, it is an excellent training target. Of course, if they die in battle, it can only be said that they are destined to suffer this calamity. The followers Zhang Chen wants to cultivate cannot even be said to be comparable to him. But at the very least, they can catch up in his footsteps. Otherwise, it would have no meaning for Zhang Chen to cultivate and follow. Outside the ancient tomb, countless forces that were originally looking forward to it were a little disappointed. It seems that Kong Bai Dao and the two, are not qualified yet. Let Zhang Chen take action. The strong men of the Kong family and Shenling Lake are naturally relieved. Zhang Chen can't deal with it, but Zhang Chen's followers, Kong Bai Dao, can still suppress it. As for the ancient emperor opportunity, it all depends on fate. No matter how rare an opportunity is, it is far less important than life. Aha! The void shook slightly. Zhang Chen appeared and looked at the bright sun ahead. To be precise, it was a brilliant sun derived from a ball of dazzling fairy light. In that fairy light, there is a terrifying emperor's power as heavy as a mountain, sweeping across, making people's hearts palpitate. Obviously, in that ball of fairy light, there was an opportunity left by the ancient emperor. The origin of the ancient emperor that Zhang Chen perceived was emanating from this fairy light. However, the system did not respond to this, and it was obviously unable to directly absorb the ancient emperor's origin. Buzz. Sure enough, as Zhang Chen took a step forward, the fairy light began to tremble slightly. After that, a mysterious emperor's shadow transformed by the laws of the emperor emerged from it. The ancient emperor's true spirit. In the distant sky, there are several figures who are not daring to come close. Those people are none other than Zhang Qingyu, Xia Yuanyi and other top Taoist disciples. The fighting between Zhou Wuxiang and Kong Bai Dao is so shocking, naturally it is. There was no way to hide it from them. After the detection, they headed straight for the bright sun. The true spirit of an ancient emperor should be enough for the descendants of the demon sect to act in earnest, right? Judging from the coercive aura of the ancient emperor's true spirit, his cultivation level is estimated to be the same as that of a descendant of the demon section. This should be the experience left by the ancient emperor. As long as you defeat the true spirit, you can get the opportunity of the ancient emperor. Countless creatures outside the ancient tomb became interested again, and all their eyes focused on Zhang Chen. Although the true spirit had the same cultivation level as Zhang Chen, it was the true spirit of an ancient emperor. A true spirit that could survive the emperor. Realm, how can the ancient emperor's combat power be inferred based on his cultivation level when he leaped across the realm to defeat immortals? Even if Zhang Chen had the monstrous combat power to cross the border and fight against the enemy, he would probably have to use all his strength to attack. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 43. In the depths of the void, a corner of the ancient heaven was revealed. A towering figure shrouded in mysterious imperial light, whose appearance could not be seen clearly, also looked towards Zhang Chen. There was a slight curiosity in those unfathomable eyes like the starry sky. Senior brother, how long does it take for him to suppress that true spirit? While the majestic figure watched quietly, there was a flash of chaotic fairy light. A lazy young man who looked unattractive and carefree appeared in the chaotic fairy light. A true spirit of the ancient emperor realm should take more than half a quarter of an hour. The majestic figure spoke slowly, his voice was ethereal, and it was difficult to tell whether he was male or female, old or young. I think it won't take him so long, senior brother, why don't we take a gamble? The lazy young man said with a smile. What to bet on? The towering figure said. If you lose, how about letting this kid become my disciple? The lazy young man laughed. Roll. But as soon as the lazy young man finished speaking, a hurricane of destruction suddenly exploded, directly blasting the lazy young man into the depths of the boundless universe. It's time to take action. In the ancient tomb, Zhang Qingyu, Xia Yuanyi and other young geniuses all watched Zhang Chen step forward. The fighting power of an ancient emperor's true spirit will definitely make Zhang Chen serious. Zhang Qingyu and others, it is clear that with their strength, they can only look up to Zhang Chen and cannot catch up. But what they want to know is, how strong is Zhang Chen? In other words, they want to know, the relationship between Zhang Chen and their respective sect's descendants, who is stronger and who is weaker. After all, when the ancient heaven opens the ancient battlefield, Zhang Chen will compete with the descendants of their orthodoxy for the opportunity to enter the ancient heaven. Now that there may be an opportunity, knowing Zhang Chen's combat power, they naturally do not want to miss it. Boom. When Zhang Chen stepped out, the ancient emperor's true spirit also moved. He just casually hit an ancient seal, and all the Taoism in the tens of thousands of voids in the surrounding area started to riot. In an instant, with Zhang Chen as the leader in the center, a whirlpool of Taoism appeared, which seemed to be able to swallow everything. Zhang Chen, who was in the whirlpool of Taoism, could not escape at all. He was completely blocked by the force of destruction. Oh! When countless the creatures stared at Zhang Chen, wanting to see how Zhang Chen would respond. Zhang Chen, who seemed to be blocked by the whirlpool Taoism, disappeared in a flash. The next moment, Zhang Chen's figure appeared like a ghost. Arriving in front of the ancient emperor's true spirit, it was none other than Dijiang's magical power. Die. The moment he appeared, Zhang Chen's eyes, double pupils appeared, and countless mysterious immortal patterns were intertwined. An extremely terrifying mysterious killing burst out in an instant, and even the heaven and earth were faintly crushed. There was a boom. The statue had just the ancient emperor's true spirit who wanted to defend himself was completely killed by Zhang Chen with one glance. This. Outside the ancient tomb, countless waiting creatures lived in sluggish silence. Just one meeting and the true spirit of the ancient emperor was wiped out? What kind of combat power is this? Ancient times, double pupils. Those ancient giants all appeared from the void with horrified eyes. Based on their cultivation, they could naturally see the double pupils in Zhang Chen's eyes. Zhang Chen actually had the ancient double pupils. The ancients, what does double pupil mean? Invincible. In ancient times, a person with double pupil was born, and he was invincible in the sky and on earth. It is a myth of being undefeated. Even the supreme immortals and demons must avoid the sharp edge in front of a person with double pupil. Not only has he grown up, the divine body of chaos that can dominate the ages, and possesses the ancient eyes. How terrifying are Zhang Chen's qualifications? No way. the chaos divine body and the ancient eyes, all in one person. In the ancient heaven, the lazy young man who was blasted into the depths of the universe tore apart the universe and appeared, looking at Zhang Chen with strong shock in his eyes. The innate chaotic divine body, coupled with the ancient eyes. This damn man wants to reverse the world. Oh my God! There is also a glimmer of light in the eyes of that majestic figure. In this way, no matter whether it is the 10 directions or the 9 ancestral lands, his heavenly domain will have nothing to fear. The battle for destiny in this life will also turn around. It's up to his heaven to make the decision. In the emperor's tomb, Zhang Chen stood with a normal expression, no surprise at all. This ancient emperor's true spirit is indeed very powerful. But compared to the Taisha demon sect and the ancestral demon true spirit of the ancestral demon monument, there is a huge difference. To know, Zhang Chen not only overcame the experience of the ancestral demon true spirit, but also transformed the world of chaos and found his own way. With the same level of cultivation, let alone an ancient emperor, he can easily kill an immortal spirit. Sensing the origin of the ancient emperor, absorbing. Congratulations to the host, you have gained the cultivation enlightenment of the way of the Emperor of Heaven. Congratulations to the host for getting a chance to use the Xuxian sword. After the system absorbed the origin of the ancient emperor, 2 groups of crystal fairy lights emerged in the chaotic light mirror. Insights into the cultivation of the way of the Emperor of Heaven. Zhang Chen realized after concentrating on the induction. The way of the heavenly emperor is a cultivation method superior to that of the ancient emperor. The emperor's way reaches heaven, the mortal world becomes an immortal, and the immortal becomes a saint. After integrating the insights of the heavenly emperor's way, Zhang Chen understood why the heavenly emperor's way was superior to the ancient emperor's. To be precise, the ancient emperor in this imperial tomb was able to defeat immortals in the imperial realm by observing the way of the heavenly emperor. But the true way of the heavenly emperor is not only the ability to defeat immortals in the emperor realm. Judging from the heavenly emperor's insights, even true immortals, immortal kings, and even immortal emperors can jump across realms to attack. This is the true path to invincibility. If word spreads out, the entire world will be shaken. As for the second fairy light, there is a blood-stained fairy sword that seems to be able to slaughter the heavens. It is the Xuxian sword. However, Zhang Chen only had one chance to activate the immortal killing sword that appeared. This is similar to the Xuxian sword she obtained before, and is even the same. The difference is that the killing power of the real Xuxian sword is far beyond that of a sword energy. Just the sword energy would not cause much harm to those old monsters. But the real Xuxian sword is different. This is a peerless killing sword. With one strike, even those most ancient beings will be filled with hatred. What's more important is that this kind of stimulation does not need to be supported by cultivation. In other words, there are no sequelae. Compared to today's Zhang Chen, this should be the biggest life-saving trump card. After that, Zhang Chen looked at the bright sun. Although the ancient emperor's true spirit was wiped out, the bright sun did not disappear. In that great sun, the extremely pure ancient emperor's Taoism was surging, as vast as the sea. This kind of pure Taoism is more precious to monks than the elixir of immortality and the elixir of immortality. Not only that, Zhang Chen also sensed a strange spatial fluctuation from it. That wisp of space fluctuation is quite special and extremely weak. If it weren't for Zhang Chen's inheritance of Emperor Jiang's Dharma, it would be really difficult to catch and discover it. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section Author, 10 Miles. Chapter 44. Boom. At this moment, there was a deafening sound of bombing in the distance. Such a shocking roar broke the dead silence. The dull and pale Xia Yuanyi and other young geniuses all came to their senses. After Zhang Chen felt it slightly, a ray of clear light escaped from the center of his eyebrows. The next moment, that ray of clear light appeared where Zhou Wuxiang and the 3 were fighting, and the incarnation of Zhang Chen was derived. It is just one breath that transforms the three pure things. The originally violent and brutal battle was over. As a result, Zhou Wuxiang and the others were defeated miserably, and Kong Baidao and Shen Yantian had escaped from the secret realm. No need to guess, this must be the Kong family and Shen Zhenhu, and they were told to leave with a secret technique. Little Lord. Seeing Zhang Chen's arrival, Zhou Wuxiang and the others immediately flew over. Although their injuries were extremely serious, their entire spirits had undergone transformation. This battle was the most brutal and dangerous one they had faced in the past 3 years. They all risked their lives in the battle. Although they failed to defeat Kong Baidao and Shen Yantian, it was a huge baptism for them. Good job, follow me. Zhang Chen smiled and fled towards the bright sun. Zhou Wuxiang and the other three were all excited and followed him while healing their wounds with the secret magic elixir. At this time, Zhang Chen himself was already entering the bright sun. He did not absorb the pure Taoism. Instead, he was searching for the source of the space fluctuations. Finally, after going deep into the bright sun, Zhang Chen found the space the source of fluctuations. That wisp of space fluctuations emanates from a Dharma light mirror. The Dharma light mirror is transparent and completely integrated with the ancient emperor's Dharma. Even if it reaches the eyes, it cannot be noticed. If it weren't for Zhang Chen, who had obtained Emperor Jiang's law, he wouldn't have discovered this light mirror at all. This breath. After careful perception, double pupils appeared in Zhang Chen's eyes, and he could see through the Dharma light mirror. Immediately, a mysterious and vast world of immortal magic appeared in the light mirror. That piece of fairy magic world is filled with the same heavenly realm but completely different fairy magic aura. That is a kind of original fairy law that is more ancient than the fairy law of heaven. Fairyland. Zhang Chen's eyes flashed slightly as he thought of this possibility. This ancient emperor's tomb is actually connected to the immortal realm. Open. With this thought, Zhang Chen's mind moved, and in the Sea of Souls, Emperor Jiang's Faxiang bloomed with chaotic fairy light. A mysterious and unpredictable space source wave emitted from Zhang Chen's body, shaking the void. For that mysterious and extraordinary fairyland, Zhang Chen said he wasn't curious, that would be a lie. It just so happened that he now had many trump cards, so he went to the Nine Heavens immortal realm to try it out. Whoa! The world of immortal magic in the Dharma light mirror seemed to be triggered. Overcoming the restriction, a fairy light shined out. As the fairy light flashed by, Zhang Chen was involved in the magic light mirror at this moment. Taisha Demon Sun, disappeared. Could it be that there is a secret hidden in this emperor's tomb? Zhang Qingyu, Xia Yuanyi, Dao Wushang and other young geniuses who had just come back to their senses and were about to leave all looked at the place where Zhang Chen disappeared. Although it was only a blink of an eye, Zhang Qingyu and others were still there. Captured that trace of space fluctuation. There is no doubt that Zhang Chen's disappearance was definitely due to triggering the hidden secret realm of the ancient tomb. That wave just now. Why does it smell like a fairyland? Outside the ancient tomb, those ancient giants also sensed it, and their expressions changed. Compared with the young people in the ancient tomb, these old monsters who have lived for countless years naturally perceive it more clearly. Fairyland's secret realm. The old god was originally there, and the eyeless raven parked in the void was surrounded by demonic energy. It was obviously sensing with secret methods. Has he entered the immortal old city? To say that the person who knows the most about the immortal realm is naturally the ancient heavenly court. That majestic and mysterious figure and the lazy young man have already seen that Zhang Chen has entered a secret realm in the immortal realm. Ancient immortal realm city, that is a rather special place in the immortal realm. It is special because the ancient immortal city was the rumored first place where ancient immortals attained enlightenment. But later, with the great changes in the world, that area the ancient city became no longer suitable for cultivation in the immortal realm. Since it was no longer suitable for cultivation, the top Taoist traditions in the immortal realm naturally moved away one after another. Therefore, there was the theory of the ancient immortal city. Of course, although the top Taoist traditions in the immortal realm have all moved away from the immortal old city. However, in the immortal old city, there are still countless creatures who come to explore all year round, and most of them are young geniuses. Because in the immortal old city, the first opportunities for ancient immortals, and even the enlightenment of immortality, will appear from time to time. Zhang Chen entering the ancient city this time, maybe it will trigger the ancient immortal opportunity. Send an order to the immortal domain Taoism to send people to the immortal ancient city to help this son. The majestic figure came to his senses quickly, and immediately gave the order without exploring the reason. Even though he was in charge of the heavenly domain, the ancient heavenly court was in the immortal realm, and had a Taoist order. It is conceivable what the ancient heavenly court's background was. Terrible. Clear. The lazy young man also showed a rare serious look, and disappeared in a flash. At this time, in the ancient tomb. Disappear in front of me within 3 breaths, otherwise, die. When Zhang Qingyu and others were about to take advantage of the opportunity to investigate the place where Zhang Chen disappeared, a calm and indifferent voice suddenly sounded. Taisha demon son. Zhang Qingyu and others all changed their expressions and turned around suddenly. They saw Zhang Chen, with indifferent eyes, coming through the air with Yanner and 3 others. It's just an incarnation, not the real thing. With the cultivation levels of Zhang Qingyu, Xia Yuanyi, and others, we can naturally see that this is just Zhang Chen's incarnation. Walk. But even so, Zhang Qingyu and others did not dare to stay at all, and immediately disappeared. Even if it was just an avatar, they felt a creepy sense of danger from Zhang Chen. If it has not disappeared within 3 breaths, what awaits them is definitely a dead end. Ban. Sure enough, just after 3 breaths, a cold shout reminded me of it again. Along with it, there was a world of tens of millions of miles in radius, all blocked by space methods. A click sound followed. This blocked world, just like glass, it became fragmented. Several young prodigies who used ancient secret treasures to hide in the void were directly obliterated without even reacting, and their bodies and souls were destroyed. There are 3 ancient secret methods here. You can absorb the Tao method and practice it at the same time. Zhang Chen said, and pointed out, bright fairy lights shot into Yan'er, Yuan Tian, and Zhou Wuxiang's bodies. This is. At the moment when those fairy lights merged, the expressions of Yan'er and the 3 of them were trembling, showing great shock and excitement. Those dazzling fairy lights are clearly the Kunpen treasure technique, the divine elephant's prison suppressing power, and, all of them are secret. With such supreme magical skills and secret techniques, their combat power will be completely transformed. It can be said that if they encounter Kong Bai Dao again, they will definitely suppress them. Zhang Chen ignored the 3 people. With his current trump card, these treasures and ancient skills are no longer considered killer moves. Granting Zhou Wuxiang and the 3 of them just enough to greatly enhance their combat power. After saying that, Zhang Chen walked to the Dharma light mirror and sat cross-legged. The Immortal Demon Sutra is circulating, and the pure Taoism in this bright sun is roaring like a hurricane. In an instant, with Zhang Chen as the center, a Taoist storm appeared, shaking the world. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 45. Fairyland. Xiang Gold City. Have you heard that the divine son of the immortal family of infinite heaven has suppressed the entire Taoist lineage of infinite heaven and brought them under his command? No way. Infinite heaven ranks among the top 3 among the 9 heavens. Can the immortal family's divine son unify all the descendants of the Taoism? Indeed, there are many immortal families and immortal traditions in the infinite heaven. Will the heirs of those giants surrender easily? Whether you believe it or not, the news has spread throughout the infinite heaven, and it is estimated that the entire immortal realm will be boiling soon. Our Daikishan and Taiyuan orthodoxies have heard the news, and it should be true. What kind of unparalleled monster was born in this life of the immortal family? In the ancient city that is filled with the atmosphere of ancient times, there are countless creatures. There are strong men of the old generation, young geniuses, and creatures of all races. At this time, the creatures in the entire ancient city were shocked by the news from the immortal family of Changsheng, a young prodigy unified, a descendant of heaven's Taoism. This has never happened in the history of the immortal realm. You know, although the immortal realm is vast and boundless, and its territory covers endless star fields. But overall, it divides the 9 heavens and the 10 immortal lands, collectively called the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Therefore, in each region of the 9 heavens and the 10 immortal lands, there are countless Taoist forces. So far, the immortal realm has never appeared. Which Taoist tradition is the only one to unify the 9 heavens and 10 earths? Now, the descendants of the Changsheng immortal family have single-handedly unified the descendants of the infinite heaven? What does this mean? Only the entire immeasurable heaven Taoist tradition has recognized the immortal family. Only the successors can have such a situation. In other words, if nothing unexpected happens, when the immortal son of the immortal family grows up, he will be able to command the entire infinite heaven. Once this hole is opened, the situation in the entire heaven domain will probably undergo a huge change. A heaven. It is simply difficult to estimate what kind of behemoths will be born if the forces of the Taoism are integrated under one Taoist lineage. But what is certain is that this will definitely cause shocking shocks in other heavens and immortal lands. Today, Jushin is full of powerful powers. The 10 lands will immediately evolve into a situation where all Taoist traditions form an alliance. At that time, the entire immortal domain will be in chaos. Rumble. As countless creatures in the old city exclaimed and discussed, a burst of earth-shaking roar spread. It immediately attracted the attention of the creatures in the ancient city, and they all followed the sound and looked. I saw that deep in the ancient city, a door of fairy light slowly opened. In the door of fairy light, there was a star without life breath, but there was the mysterious ancient star appears. Is there an opportunity for an ancient immortal to appear? This makes countless creatures in the ancient city excited. Whether they are older monks or young geniuses, they can't hide their excitement. The opportunity of ancient immortals in the ancient city, although there are limitations on cultivation, will not suppress age. This is why there are many older monks who gather in the ancient city from time to time. Oh! At this moment, a mysterious Taoist magic fell on the immortal light gate. It was an ancient Taoist mirror, faintly emitting light that did not belong to the immortal. The aura of the domain. When countless creatures were surprised, a tall figure walked out of the Dharma light mirror. This person was none other than Zhang Chen. He isn't a creature from the fairyland. If there is only a vague aura that does not belong to the immortal realm in that ancient Taoist mirror, then Zhang Chen, who appears at this time, with the Taoist aura on his body, is definitely not a creature from the immortal realm. Because of that, the Taoism and the incompatible atmosphere of Tongxian realm are simply too obvious. The feeling is like a light in the dark night, you can tell it without perception. That breath of Taoism. Heavenly creatures. There are even many older monks who have sensed it with secret methods. Among the 10 great realms, the heavenly realm is the closest realm to the immortal realm. This is also the reason why the ancient Yuan fairyland connects the immortal realm and the heavenly realm. Naturally, compared to other great realms, the creatures in the immortal realm have a better understanding of the heaven realm. The Taoist aura in Zhang Chen's body that is not weaker than the immortal realm is definitely from the heaven realm. But the problem is, it seems that only how did Zhang Chen, who was 17 or 18 years old, come to the immortal realm? Could it be that the Dharma light mirror, like the ancient Yuan immortal realm, hides a secret realm of two realms. Ancient immortal opportunity. In the ancient city of Immortal, countless creatures looked at Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen's gaze was directed towards the mysterious ancient star in the immortal light gate. With his perception, he could naturally sense the aura of the ancient immortal from the mysterious ancient star. How could Zhang Chen sit idly by with such an immortal destiny ahead of him? Aha! But when Zhang Chen was about to enter the gate of fairy light, a bright fairy light came down like a fairy sword. Zhang Chen's path forward was immediately blocked by that bright fairy light, and the aura of death swept over Zhang Chen. The ancient immortal city is an opportunity for our immortal realm, and it is not something that people from outside the realm can get their hands on. Following the indifferent voice, a figure wearing Taoist robes and full of evil aura appeared in front of Zhang Chen. Although he couldn't recognize his head, the terrifying coercion on the other side was definitely that of a powerful elder. No, he's a member of the Jisha Sect. Outside the immortal old city, several monks who were teleported saw the evil figure staring at Zhang Chen, and their expressions changed continuously. They were the ancient heavenly courts, the forces and orthodoxy installed in the immortal realm. After getting the news, they teleported over immediately. But they still didn't expect that Zhang Chen had been targeted. More importantly, the person targeting Zhang Chen was the Jisha Immortal Sect, which was famous for its cruelty. In the past, the immortal ancient was in turmoil, and Jisha, the ancestor of the immortal sect, died at the hands of the giant of the heaven realm. It can be said that, looking at the entire immortal realm, there is no one who hates the orthodoxy of the Tian realm more than the Jisha Immortal Sect. Aren't people from outside the realm able to get involved? That's really embarrassing. Now that I'm here, I have no intention of leaving empty-handed. Facing the figure in Taoist robes who completely blocked the space around him with ferocious evil aura, Zhang Chen looked as usual and spoke calmly. I don't care what your status is in the heavenly realm, but the immortal realm is not a place where you can be arrogant. Die. The figure in the Taoist robe smiled coldly, and was too lazy to talk nonsense. The violent Taoist method swept across like a hurricane. There was a boom. Zhang Chen, who was blocked by the evil Taoist method, exploded directly. Died. The few Tiangong monks who escaped from the sky very quickly and wanted to sacrifice the ancient immortal treasure and take Zhang Chen away stayed in a daze. The other creatures in the immortal old city who were quite curious about Zhang Chen were also startled. They also wanted to find out how Zhang Chen came from the heavenly realm to the immortal realm and how did Zhang Chen get killed? Wrong. Suddenly, a handsome young man with light blue eyes, with fairy light flashing in his eyes, looked towards the Jisha Immortal Sect, behind the old and powerful man. Wow! Almost at the same time, a terrifying sword energy came from where he looked. Appeared without warning. A long space crack appeared in the void, and destructive turbulence spread out wantonly. Damn it! The elders and powerful men of the Jisha Immortal Sect were naturally aware of it immediately and immediately tried to dodge. But it wasn't until this moment that he realized that his whole body had been entangled with thousands of chains of space magic. Although he immediately shattered the space magic, it also delayed the moment. Poof! And in this blink of an eye, the light of Dao Sanyan's sword had already cut the elders of the Jisha Immortal Sect into two, annihilating even the origin of the true spirit. Zhang Chen's figure then stepped out of the void cut out by the sword energy. This caused the huge ancient city to suddenly become silent, like a cemetery, where you could hear a needle drop. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 46. A member of the Jisha Immortal Section was killed. In the ancient city of Immortal, countless creatures are living in a sluggish state. From the strong men of the Jisha Immortal Sect who killed Zhang Chen to the destructive sword energy that killed the strong men of the Jisha Immortal Sect. These changes are all it happened in an instant. Even though they had witnessed everything from beginning to end, their brains still couldn't react. They didn't know how Jiang Chen escaped that kind of killing. They also didn't know how Jiang Chen was able to escape such a desperate situation. How did Jiang Chen escape and launch a counterattack at the same time? And the counterattack was so terrifying that in an instant, he killed the elders and powerful men of the Jisha immortal sect. When did such a monster appear in the heaven realm? An older creature with great background murmured to himself, unable to conceal his horror. As far as they know, the top young people in Tianyu in this life are all in Zhongaiyu days Hu. And when they were in Guyuan fairyland, Zhongaiyu, the heirs of Taoism in hundreds of states, were brutally suppressed by the gods of the Xian family. Among those suppressed, there was no evil genius like Jiang Chen. The energy of Tai Mo is at Tianyu, the descendant of the immortal demon sect. At this time, the handsome young man with light blue eyes saw the Tamo Qi in Jiang Chen's body and immediately deduced Jiang Chen's origin. The Tamo Qi is only the Taishu Immortal Sutra, it can be cultivated. And the Taishu Immortal Sutra is the sect-suppressing magic power of Tianyu, the notorious immortal demon sect. It is the supreme magic power that only the descendants of the saints in the past are qualified to practice. A descendant of the Taishu demon sect. I remembered that there was indeed news before that the descendants of the Taishu demon sect in this life have amazing talents and are suspected to be the reincarnation of the ancestor demon. Oh, is this son the contemporary successor of Taishu demon sect? We are all familiar with the Taishu demon sect and the ancient traditions of the immortal realm. During the immortal ancient war, the demon ancestor of the Taishu demon sect once entered the immortal realm alone. The monstrous blood disaster caused by that ancestor demon, it can be called the best in the modern era of the immortal realm. In other words, that demonic chaos was the blood disaster with the largest casualties in the modern era of the immortal realm. Even after the ancient, and other eras, the demonic power of the Taishu demon sect still made the immortal realm. The souls are palpitating. The creatures in the ancient city did not expect that Jiang Chen would be a descendant of the Taishu demon sect. In this way, it makes sense that he has such terrifying killing moves. The Taishu demon sect, his terrifying background, even if placed in the immortal realm, is definitely enough to rank among the top overlords. No wonder the immortal lord pays so much attention to. The few monks arranged by the ancient heaven gradually came back to their senses and looked at Jiang Chen like a god. That destructive sword energy that tore apart the world and killed powerful enemies, Jiang Chen definitely relied on some ancient treasure. However, Jiang Chen only relied on his own ability to escape from those destructive killing techniques. At such a young age, he has the means to easily deal with the strong men of the older generation. It can be seen that Jiang Chen has such an amazing talent. Call. Suddenly, the void where Jiang Chen was standing shook violently, and thousands of immortal spells rolled out. In an instant, an ancient and mysterious magic circle fell, completely sealing the void. In that magic circle, there was a biting evil spirit roaring like a tsunami, and it evolved into billions of killing techniques. Such a world-destroying killing spree has made countless elders and giants in the immortal old city feel a strong chill in their hearts. Evil immortal killing formation. Those with a sharp eye can see at a glance the origin of that world-destroying killing array. The evil immortal killing array is the extremely evil killing array in the Jisha immortal sect, and it has great killing power in the immortal realm. As expected. Around the terrifying killing array, several figures with monstrous aura appeared, looking at Jiang Chen with cold expressions. Those were the elders and powerful men of the extremely evil immortal sect. After seeing the tragedy of the ancient robed figure before, those figures, none of the people from the Jisha immortal sect came close to Jiang Chen, but only blocked them with magic formations. With their cultivation, setting up such a destructive killing formation, Jiang Chen would not be able to escape death no matter how many tricks he had. Tisk. Jiang Chen naturally, he would not sit still and wait for death. He turned his 2 fingers into a sword again and slashed out in the air. Among the 4 Xuxian sword chi, the last Xuxian sword chi tore through the void and powerfully broke through the magic circle. The void shook slightly. Zhang Chen's figure was under the gaze of everyone. They disappeared into the magic circle. The strong men of the Jisha immortal sect who had sacrificed ancient treasures all froze in their movements. He has entered the fairy gate. The next moment, there were exclamations in the old city. Everyone looked around. Zhang Chen, who disappeared in the magic circle, had indeed entered the gate of fairy light. He was like a ghost, passing through directly. Void's methods moved countless creatures in the ancient city. Of course, the expressions of the elders and powerful men of the Jisha immortal sect were as ugly as possible. You know, with their cultivation, under normal circumstances, they pinched the younger generation to death. But now, several of them joined forces and set up a magic circle, but they still failed to trap Zhang Chen. This naturally made the elders and powerful men of the Jisha immortal sect feel that they had lost their face. If it hadn't been before, there would have been no it was okay to have seen Zhang Chen's destructive sword energy. But, they had just seen it, and they had prepared all-out measures to deal with it. In the end, the person disappeared without even sacrificing the immortal treasure. The measures they prepared to deal with it, completely became a joke. Using the strong to bully the weak, and using the more to defeat the less are of no use. If you have the guts, come to this secret realm. Zhang Chen, who had escaped into the immortal sect, sensed the coercion of the immortal sect in the secret realm of the immortal section. He showed a sneer on his face and looked at the Jisha immortal sect and others. You wanna die? Among the people from the Jisha immortal sect who already had ugly faces, some were so angry that they wanted to rush in. With their strength, in the outside world, they are definitely considered strong, not to mention giants. Now, not only how could they tolerate losing all face and being so scorned and provoked by juniors? However, their impulse was stopped by the white-haired old man who led them. Obviously, the white-haired old man had sensed that the magic in the immortal light gate was immortal power suppresses. Without the suppression of immortal magic, Zhang Chen can use that destructive sword energy to kill the elders of their immortal sect. If their cultivation is suppressed again, then they may have no way out. The immortals in the ancient city, the secret realm of immortal fate, cannot exist forever. Therefore, they only need to wait and see in the outside world. Once the secret realm of immortal fate disappears, Zhang Chen will have nowhere to escape. He has failed twice before, and next time, Zhang Chen will definitely, completely obliterate. No way. Are you so cowardly that you dare not come in? Zhang Chen looked at the people from the Jisha immortal sect and sneered even more. He is worthy of being a descendant of the Taisha demon section. He is indeed as crazy as the rumors say. I just don't know what other trump cards he has, and he dares to provoke the Jisha immortal sect like this. Seeing Zhang Chen's arrogant ridicule, and looking at the Jisha immortal sect with murderous intent, countless creatures in the immortal ancient city were talking to each other through sound transmission, surprised and curious. Zhang Chen couldn't be in that secret realm. After staying for a lifetime, he is so arrogant now. Where is his trump card? Even the destructive sword energy can still be avoided as long as he is prepared. After all, Zhang Chen's cultivation level is only in the realm of Shinto. Compared to the powerful elders, no matter how qualified Zhang Chen is, he is just a genius. Even if he holds a big killing weapon, it is difficult for him to fully exert his killing power. If the Jisha immortal sect is angry, it will definitely not be a killing weapon. You can handle it? If you don't dare to come in, then don't come in at all. When Zhang Chen saw this, with a thought in his mind, 2 wisps of pure energy emerged and turned into 2 incarnations. Anyone who enters the immortal realm will die. After saying this, Zhang Chen's body flashed and disappeared. The 2 incarnations were like 2 fierce gods and demons, guarding the entrance of the fairy gate with a formidable momentum. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section Author, 10 miles. Chapter 47. Among the people in the fairyland, whoever enters will die. This kid wants to monopolize the opportunity of the ancient immortal. A junior from the heaven realm dares to be so arrogant in the immortal realm. It seems that he thinks his life is too long. Oh, do you think you can run rampant in my fairyland if you have some trump cards? It seems that he regards our immortal domain deist lineage as something like Jisha immortal section. Hearing Zhang Chen's words, the creatures of the immortal ancient old city who originally looked like they were watching a show became a little angry. How dare a junior from the Taisha demon sect to ignore them like this? Even if Zhang Chen is really that person, the reincarnation of the ancestor demon is just a young man now. Acting so arrogantly is simply asking for death. Walk. If you dare to block the road, kill him. Immediately, many young prodigies from the old city walked towards the gate of immortal light. They didn't believe that Zhang Chen really dared to attack them. Provoking the Jisha immortal sect would only be regarded as offending an orthodoxy. But if he was against if they take action, they will provoke the entire immortal realm. In the past and present, no young person has ever dared to provoke all the Taoism in the immortal realm. Senior brother, aren't we going? Beside the handsome young man with light blue eyes, a flower-like girl looked at the handsome young man with a slightly strange look. They came here for the opportunity of the ancient immortal in the ancient city. Now, the ancient immortal Chan's secret realm is right in front of her, but her senior brother is actually indifferent? Could it be that with her senior brother's terrifying cultivation level, under the same pressure, he would still be afraid of people in the heaven realm? You know, with treasures, in the elders powerful, it's not that powerful to escape from the killer's men. She can do this kind of thing. Naturally, her senior brother can do it even more easily. That person is very dangerous and should not be messed with. In Zhang Jinghong's light blue eyes, there was a faint flash of fairy light. He stared at Zhang Chen and spoke slowly. Not to be messed with. When Zhao Yunling heard this, she could not hide the surprise on her pretty face. Her senior brother had innate spiritual eyes through cultivation, and he could see through all the illusions in the world and go straight to the source. Since her senior brother said this, he must have seen it from the people in that domain. What danger? It seems that this person relies on more than just the treasure cards on his body. Buzzing. As the void trembles slightly, the ancient city creature that was the first to leave has already entered the gate of fairy light. Boom. Almost in at this moment, the vast ancient aura exploded like a violent hurricane. In the void, tens of thousands of ancient giant elephants were seen, swarming out, shaking the sky and the earth. Those creatures who entered the gate of fairy light were all. He changed his color in shock and immediately used the secret technique of the divine treasure. But unfortunately, as Zhang Chen gained a deeper understanding of the prison-suppressing power of divine elephants, the power of those ancient giant elephants also increased day by day. Bang bang bang, among the tens of thousands of ancient giant elephants after rushing through, all the creatures that rushed into the secret realm were suppressed and turned into blood mist. With Zhang Chen's current strength, even if he doesn't use the magical power and secret method of the divine elephant's prison-suppressing power, he can easily turn it into an elephant with just chi. Suppressing the same realm. The blood mist dissipated, and the ancient giant elephant disappeared. Zhang Chen and the two incarnated, like unparalleled demons, suppressing the entrance to the immortal gate. The power of one person can stop 10,000 people in the immortal realm. This kind of fighting power is very strong. He has just entered the God King realm for the first time, but his strength is not weaker than the elders in the God King realm. No wonder he dares to be so arrogant. Outside the immortal gate, the immortal realm creatures in the old city had slightly moved expressions. The cultivation level of those who have just entered the God King realm is not very outstanding when compared to the younger generation in the immortal realm. The top young genius in the immortal realm, he had already set foot in the realm of the Supreme. the son of the immortal family who ruled the infinite heaven, as well as the descendants of those ancient forbidden lands, had achieved extremely high attainments on the path to the supreme. However, under the circumstances of being suppressed by the immortal law, Jiang Chen is still able to exert a combat power comparable to that of his elders at the God King realm with his cultivation level that has just entered the God King realm. This is somewhat expected. More importantly, the two Jiang Chens now are just two incarnations of secret techniques, and their true bodies have long been entering the ancient star of immortal magic. With just two incarnations, they can explode such astonishing killing power at will. If Jiang Chen himself were here, what level of combat power would he reach? I'm afraid, it would be enough to fight at the supreme level, right? When you first enter the God King realm, your combat power can match that of the supreme level. Such terrifying combat power across a realm is extremely rare even in the immortal realm. He is worthy of being a descendant of Taisha demon sect, he is indeed extraordinary. When the creatures in the old city were surprised, a chuckle rang out. A ray of yin-yang fairy light came next. A young man wearing a yin-yang Taoist robe and surrounded by yin-yang Taoism appeared with a fly whisk in his hand. Yin-yang Fairy Island, Yin Xian. The creatures in the ancient city recognized the identity of the young man at a glance, and there was a heated discussion. Yin Yang Immortal Island is one of the 9 heavens, the strongest overlord of Dao Yishan. Although Yin Yang Immortal Island has not unified Dao Yishan, but he is truly the most powerful giant. The Yin Xian who came here is the genius of the Taiyan lineage in the Yunyang Fairy Island. Although he failed to compete for the position of the successor of the Taiyan lineage, Yin Xian is still there. He is a younger generation in the immortal realm, but he is also famous. Just his cultivation level and setting foot in the supreme realm are enough to prove how powerful and amazing his qualifications are. Brother Taoist, you have a grudge against the Jisha Immortal Sect, so you can just block the Jisha Immortal section. There is no need to offend all the Taoist traditions in the immortal realm, right? Yin Xian stepped on the Yin and Yang Immortal Light, walked to the Immortal Gate, and looked at Jiang Chen with a smile. As for the people from the Jisha Immortal Sect not far away with cold eyes, Yin Xian didn't pay any attention to it. Regardless of his background or power, the Yin-Yang Immortal Island is far from being comparable to the Jisha Immortal Sect. In response to Jiang Chen's provocation, the Jisha Immortal Sect and others can spread their killing intent unscrupulously. But in front of Yin Xian, the Jisha Immortal Sect's people, I can only dare to be angry but dare not speak. I have said before, whoever enters the immortal realm will die. Jiang Chen's expression was normal and uncomplicated. His target was not the Jisha Immortal Sect, but the ancient immortal opportunity on the ancient star. This Yin Xian obviously came for the ancient immortal opportunity. Since there is a fundamental conflict, Jiang Chen is naturally too lazy to be polite. If he wants to get over it, he must first leave his life behind. This guy. Jiang Chen's madness also made the creatures in the ancient city of Dexian become even more angry. Now, it is no longer Jiang Chen's personal grudge against Jisha sect. Jiang Chen was blatantly provoking the orthodoxy of the entire immortal realm. Even though he is a descendant of the Taisha demon sect, he must not be allowed to leave the immortal realm alive. Otherwise, the Taoism gathered in the old city today will become a joke to the entire world. Brother Jinghong, the opportunity of the ancient immortal is in front of you. I am sure you will not watch it being snatched away by someone from the heaven realm like this. How about we join forces? But in those eyes, the Taiyan Dao talisman flickered. Yin Xian, who had stared at Jiang Chen, did not get angry, but looked somewhere in the old city. That was where the senior brothers and sisters Zhang Jinghong and Zhao Yunling were. Zhang Jinghong of Wuji Immortal Sect. Is he the only Zhang Jinghong in the history of Wuji Immortal Sect who cultivated the innate spiritual pupil with his mortal body? In the ancient city of Immortal, there were screams of exclamation again. The Wuji immortal sect is also a giant and overbearing authority that is rare among the nine heavens. Zhang Jinghong is the most powerful genius under the Son of God in the Wuji immortal sect. If it weren't for the generation of the Wuji immortal sect, a monster was born. With Zhang Jinghong's qualifications to cultivate the innate spiritual pupils, he would definitely become the successor of the Wuji immortal section. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon section author, 10 miles. Chapter 48. Yin Yang Immortal Island and Wuji Immortal Sex Sequence Genius Team Up, this is a good show. Many creatures in the old city are very interested. Although Yin Xiantian and Zhang Jinghong are not the heirs of their respective Taoist traditions, their cultivation has entered the supreme realm. Under the suppression of the immortal law, the two of them working together, it is not difficult to win a descendant of the heaven realm. After all, even if Zhang Chen's combat power is comparable to that of the supreme realm, his cultivation level is only at the God King realm. From a fundamental cultivation level, Zhang Chen is the same as Yin Xian. The two of them are not on the same level. As for the trump card of the killing weapon, Zhang Chen can have it, and Yin Xiantian and Zhang Jinghong are naturally not lacking. Although the ancient immortal secret realm in the ancient immortal city does not limit cultivation. But from there, etc. in terms of the suppression of immortal magic, the pressure on the elders and powerful men is much stronger than that of the young geniuses. This is why the elders and powerful men of Jisha immortal sect dare not enter the gate of the ancient immortals. Yin Xiantian and other young geniuses, however, the reason is that there is not much scruple. Judging from past deeds, there are far more powerful elders who died in the secret realm of ancient immortals than young geniuses. Join forces. I'm not interested. But to the surprise of countless creatures in the ancient city, Zhang Jinghong directly rejected Yin Xiantian. Zhang Jinghong's reaction naturally caused a huge uproar in the ancient city. From Zhang Jinghong's demeanor, it is enough to show that he does not want to wade into this muddy water. So, Zhang Jinghong is afraid of the descendants of the Taisha demon sect? That's a shame. Even Yin Xiantian was stunned for a moment, and then shook his head slightly, seeming a little disappointed. What's such a pity for a loser who doesn't even dare to compete for the position of Son of God? At this time, a sneer resounded through the ancient city, and the ridicule in the voice was not concealed at all. Accompanying the sneer was a burly figure sweeping in the billowing aura of immortals and demons. Immortal Demon Ridge. That special aura of the fusion of immortals and demons can make people recognize it without guessing. Immortal Demon Ridge, this is another giant overlord in the immortal realm. It is rumored that it is the oldest creation of immortals and demons, and its background is profound. It is estimated that at its peak, it once shocked the immortal realm. Immortal Demon Ridge, pray for all demons. The burly figure was also recognized. Chi Wan Mo, possessing extremely pure immortal and demon blood, is a rare top genius in the Immortal Demon Ridge. Regarding Chi Wan Mo's actions against Zhang Jinghong, Xianguju, many creatures in the city are not surprised. Because a few years ago, Chi Wan Mo fought against Zhang Jinghong and ended in a disastrous defeat. Now that they have met, Chi Wan Mo will naturally compete with Zhang Jinghong again. Got it? If my senior brother is a loser, then what are you who was suppressed by my senior brother? When Zhao Yunling heard Chi Wan Mo's taunt, she immediately stood up. Her senior brother could ignore Chi Wan Mo, but she couldn't do that. A defeat means nothing. If you have the ability, let your senior brother fight me again. Chi Wan Mo didn't care about his original defeat. He smiled coldly and deliberately provoked. There is no need to fight. If you can suppress this person, then from now on, wherever you appear, I will take a detour. Zhao Yunling was furious. When he wanted to speak again, he was stopped by Zhang Jinghong. He said calmly. Really? Chi Wanmo's eyes narrowed slightly, with some suspicion in his eyes. He didn't know what Zhang Jinghong was planning. Yin Xiantian and the creatures in the old city were quite surprised. How could Zhang Jinghong be so optimistic about the people of that domain? What did he see with his pair of innate spiritual eyes? The innate spiritual eyes are said to be able to see through all illusions and go straight to the source. If he hadn't seen something, Zhang Jinghong would never have said such a thing. After all, if Qi Wan Mo really suppressed the people of that domain, Zhang Jinghong would have declared to the world that he is not as good as Qi Wan Mo. This kind of promise is much more serious than directly losing to Qi Wan Mo. As long as you can do it, Zhang Jinghong said calmly, then you're good to go. Seeing Zhang Jinghong's serious look, Qi Wan Mo sneered and walked towards the immortal gate. With help like this coming to your door, aren't you going to take action? When Zhang Jinghong saw this, he looked at Yin Xiantian, who had previously wanted to ask him to join forces. Do you want to reap the benefits? Yin Xiantian glanced at Zhang Jinghong and sent a message to test Zhang Jinghong's purpose. Among the younger generation in Xiang Gold City, the only ones who can rival him are Zhang Jinghong and Qi Wanmo. The reason why he wanted to he joined forces with Zhang Jinghong because he didn't want to make a wedding dress for others. I said, I have no interest in getting involved in this matter. In response to Yin Suanation's message, Zhang Jinghong replied directly. That's good. Yin Xiantian took a deep look at Zhang Jinghong, turned around, and walked towards the secret realm of the immortal sect. Since Zhang Jinghong said it in public, he would not break the contract even if he thought about it. As for Zhang Chen, although it is a bit weird, to be honest, he didn't have much fear. After all, the cultivation levels of both parties were there, not to mention that they were still working together now. Senior brother, is that person really that scary? Seeing the creatures in the immortal old city looking at his senior brother with strange eyes, Zhao Yunling couldn't help but send a message and asked. If Qi Wanmo and Yin Xiantian really suppress Zhang Chen, then her senior brother will definitely be. She would have the reputation of being a coward. To be honest, even she didn't understand why her senior brother was so afraid of Zhang Chen. The tens of thousands of ancient giant elephants before had an astonishing killing power, but they were only the elder god king level. This shows that Zhang Chen's strength can only reach the supreme realm. When both sides are suppressed, her senior brother should not be so afraid of Zhang Chen. Both of them will die. Zhang Jinghong didn't care about the strange looks from the creatures in the old city, and said calmly. No way. Zhao Yunling's pretty face changed color, her eyes were glazed over, and she couldn't believe it. I wish all the demis if we join forces, even if we can't defeat Zhang Chen, we won't lose our lives, right? You know, suppression and killing are two completely different meanings. Zhang Jinghong didn't speak, just watched quietly. The fate of Qi Wan Mo and Yin Xiantian has been determined. What he wants to know is whether Qi Wan Mo and Yin Xiantian can make Zhang Chen go all out. At this time, in front of the fairy gate of the secret realm. Give you a chance to live and get out. The immortal and demonic energy was billowing like a demon praying to the world. He looked at Zhang Chen proudly. Although he heard that Zhang Chen killed the elders and powerful men of the Jisha immortal sect. But that was obviously with the help of others. He has a killer move trump card. In terms of cultivation, he is not in the God King realm. As for the trump card, Zhang Chen has it, and he has no shortage of it. It seems that the fairyland is full of people who have no brains. The two incarnations of Zhang Chen stood proudly with their hands folded across their chests, looking indifferently at Qi Wanmo and Zhang Jinghong who came through the air. Court death. Qi Wanmo was furious, and his whole body exploded with immortal and demon energy. With boundless killing power, he rushed into the fairy gate. Even behind Qi Wanmo, there was a majestic and boundless fairy magic that condensed to suppress hundreds of millions of heaven and earth. Taoism. Kill the Sky Tao. In the old city of immortal ancient city, countless strong men were moved and recognized the killing technique performed by Qi Wanmo. This is the destructive killing technique with the most vicious reputation in immortal Demon Ridge. In the past, there were giants in Immortal Demon Ridge, and this technique directly he wiped out all the creatures in a star field, and his killing power was unparalleled. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 49. Break. Zhang Chen transformed on the left, took one step forward, and faced him head-on. The moment he stepped out, a three-headed and six-armed demon ape form emerged from the void and blasted towards the immortal magic form with unparalleled strength. As for Zhang Chen's hands, there is an extra ancient spear, with the manifestation of boundless hell hidden. It is the divine method in the divine elephant's prison suppressing power, the Spear of Hades. The Spear of Hades is known as the most powerful attack method. When the strike is thrust out, even the heaven and the earth will be directly shattered. Boom! Immediately, the Qi-Wan demon who rushed into the immortal sect immediately faced Zhang Chen's incarnation. Both of them exploded with destructive killing power. Billions of violent Taoist techniques exploded. In the meantime, deep ripples appeared in the void like the sea surface, raging like a tsunami. Bang! After that, a figure with billowing demonic energy was shot away like a meteor. That person turned out to be Qi-Wan Mo. Although he was only hit after flying dozens of feet, Qi-Wan Mo stabilized his body. But it still remained the same, making the creatures in the ancient city extremely unbelievable. As soon as they met, Qi-Wan Mo, who had the blood of the immortal demon, was blasted by Zhang Chen Fly. Doesn't this mean that Qi-Wan Mo, who has set foot in the Supreme Realm, is not Zhang Chen's opponent? You know, what Qi-Wan Mo is facing now is just Zhang Chen's incarnation. I'll kill you. The moment he stabilized his body, Qi-Wan Mo was like a rampaging immortal demon, killing Zhang Chen again. This time, the furious Qi-Wan Mo, an ancient immortal demon seal appeared between his eyebrows. As the ancient immortal demon seal was resolved Feng, tens of millions of ancient immortal and demon patterns spread all over Qi-Wan Mo's body. A brutal and unrivaled turbulent force erupted from Qi-Wan Mo, even the void was shattered. Unlocking the bloodline of immortals and demons so soon. This makes the creatures in the ancient city of Dexian even more shocked. Qi-Wan Mo himself has the cultivation level of the Supreme Realm. Even if he has just entered the Supreme Realm not long ago, he is still the real cultivation level of the Supreme Realm. He has an absolute advantage in cultivation. Next, Qi-Wan Mo still has to unlock his bloodline to deal with Zhang Chen's incarnation. How terrifying is Zhang Chen's combat power? In the ancient city, countless creatures were shocked. Zhang Chen's incarnation also stepped into the air again. Came out, the energy of chaos swept through the whole body, and the power of the gods was unparalleled. Chaos body. At this moment, both the violent Qi-Wan demon and Yin Xiantian who did not take action were immediately aware of it and were shocked. Zhang Chen actually has such a rumored supreme divine body. You know, after the chaos divine body is completed, even the immortal body is difficult to suppress, and it truly has the power to suppress the gods for eternity. No wonder his cultivation level at the God King level is so terrifying. Outside the immortal sect, in the ancient immortal city, the powerful elders also noticed one after another. The powerful elders of Jisha immortal sect suddenly realized. With the rumored chaos divine body, it seemed that Zhang Chen could escape from their hands. No, it's so hard for them to accept it. Chaos divine body. This invincible physique actually appears again. Zhao Yunling, who had just come back to his senses, was shocked again and froze. She now finally understood why evildoers like her senior brother were so afraid of Zhang Chen. Not to mention Zhang Chen's combat power, Zhang Chen could only fight with his chaos divine body. With Chen's qualifications, she can be ranked at the top of the immortal realm. With the terrifying qualifications of the chaos divine body, even her senior brother may not be able to compare with it. Zhang Jinghong looked as usual, not surprised at all, obviously he had already insight. His pair of light blue innate spiritual pupils stared closely at Zhang Chen, with fairy light floating in the depths of his pupils. Immediately afterwards, Zhang Chen's figure became blurry again, and a chaotic world appeared in a flash. Passed away. Although it was only for a moment, Zhang Jinghong stood upright with chills all over his body, and the chill in his heart soared. So what is it? Zhang Jinghong felt an unconcealable sense of horror. Even with his innate spiritual eyes, he could not see through the chaotic world. He could only sense an indescribable and unknown sense of endless danger from it. This is also the reason why Zhang Jinghong did not enter the immortal sect to compete for the opportunity of the ancient immortal. The opportunity of the ancient immortal is important, but compared with life, it is not worth mentioning. It takes a long time to practice in order to achieve the goal. Step by step to reach the top. If you die during this period, everything will be in vain. At this time, outside the fairyland, there was a turbid starry sky. Two figures appeared from the endless void and moved an ancient stone tablet. As the ancient stone tablet flashed with mysterious immortal patterns, a picture emerged clearly. The scene shown on the stone tablet was clearly the battle in the immortal gate in the immortal old city. These two figures, one of whom was hazy and whose appearance was unclear, were none other than the ancient Lord of Heaven. A man with a chaotic body and a carefree look is the lazy young man. Can one incarnation suppress the supreme realm? In the deep and vast eyes of the ancient Lord of Heaven, there was a strange color flickering. With his talent, as long as he is properly cultivated, in this life, the 10 directions and the 9 ancestral lands will be respected by my heavenly realm. The lazy young man did not hide the joy in his heart and said. When he first entered the God King realm, Zhang Chen could use his incarnation to rival the supreme realm. If he sets foot in the supreme realm, wouldn't he be able to compete with the Emperor realm? At the Emperor realm, he can have you jumped into the realm to defeat immortals? Oh! At this time, the space was torn apart, and the dark raven came through the sky. The strange thing is that in the originally empty eyes of the raven, there were deep eyes. The eyes of those eyes were the master is surprisingly none other than the 9-demon old man. Sure enough, you, the ancient heavenly court, have a way to see the situation in the immortal realm. The old man of the 9 demons spoke in a relaxed tone, as if he had known the ancient Lord of Heaven for many years. The boundless demon sea of your demon sect can also see the fairyland. What is Gu Tianting doing? As for the appearance of the 9-demon old man, the Lord of Heaven is obviously not aware of it and is not surprised. I do think so, but unfortunately those guys in the immortal realm are watching my demon sect even more strictly than they are watching you. They will be able to sense it as soon as the demon sea seal is opened. As the old man 9 demons spoke, he looked at the battle on the stone tablet with deep eyes. Zhang Chen and the demons were fighting fiercely. It seemed that it was hard to tell the winner. But the old man 9 demons could see that Zhang Chen's incarnation, he didn't go all out. He was trying to understand the true meaning of Qi Wan Mo's immortals and demons, and wanted to simply decompose and accommodate them. Looking at you looking so calm, it seems that you have already thought of a way, how to bring him back. The Lord of Heaven glanced at the 9 demons old man, slightly curious. Well, I won't bother you heavenly palace to worry about this. The old man 9 demons is really not worried about this. He has already communicated with Zhang Chen using a secret method. He knows that Zhang Chen has a boundary-breaking immortal talisman on his body and can come back from the fairyland at any time. Since there is a way out, it is natural to let him. Zhang Chen took this opportunity to compete with the geniuses of the immortal realm. However, judging from the current situation, the younger generation of the immortal ancient city is far from Zhang Chen's opponent. In this case, Zhang Chen would not be able to afford it. What experience do you get? Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 50. Fairyland. Immortal Old City. Boom. Accompanied by the deafening sound of bombing. A majestic fairy magic statue was directly blown to pieces. The billowing energy of immortals and demons roars like a hurricane, causing chaos in the world. Poof. Chi-Wan Mo, who was fighting with Zhang Chen's incarnation, was shaken, as if he had received a backlash. Zhang Chen seized this momentary flaw and thrust out the spear of the underworld, and Chi-Wan Mo immediately vomited blood and flew backwards. Seal up. Zhang Chen took advantage of the victory to pursue, and the spear of the god of Hades exuded terrifying killing power, trying to pierce the soul of Chi-Wan Mo's brow. When life and death were at stake, Chi-Wan Mo used a secret method, and his body immediately surged several times to avoid fatal attacks. Of course, at this time, the bigger the body, the easier it is to become a target. Zhang Chen's offensive moved slightly, and the heart of Chi-Wan Mo was pierced by the spear of Hades, and the destruction method wreaked havoc, destroying its vitality. However, for those who set foot on the supreme for the creatures in the realm, breaking the heart cannot cause fatal injuries. Only by annihilating the origin of the true spirit can it be completely killed. This is why Zhang Chen had previously wanted to seal the eyebrows of all demons. Immortal Demon Sealing Technique. The Chi-Wan demon who vomited blood and was knocked away has also experienced hundreds of battles. He immediately sacrificed an ancient talisman and attached it to the spear of Hades that pierced the heart. In an instant, tens of millions of ancient patterns of immortals and demons, ancient talismans, it filled the air and opened up, following the spear of the underworld, trying to sweep and seal Zhang Chen. This is one of Chi-Wan Mo's trump cards. Not to mention just the realm of Shinto, even the strongest in the supreme peak, it was sealed in an instant. Boom. Zhang Chen noticed it immediately, and with a thought, the spear of Hades exploded directly. After Chi-Wan Mo's pupils suddenly opened, his whole body exploded, turning into a mist of blood all over the sky. Chi-Wan Mo was suppressed and killed. Outside the Immortal Gate, many creatures in the old city were staring with dull eyes, some of them unable to react. Chi-Wan Mo, who had reached the supreme realm and had unlocked the bloodline of the immortal demon, was actually killed by Zhang Chen, who was in the God King realm. More importantly, the person who killed Chi-Wan Mo was just an incarnation of Zhang Chen. Even if they saw the scene with their own eyes, they couldn't believe it. The Jisha Immortal Sect and others who had been angry before were just, I felt cold all over my body. If they were the ones who rushed in, they would probably be dead now, right? Strangeness. Zhang Jinghong, who had immortal light condensed in his light blue eyes, showed a little surprise on his face. With his eye skills, he could naturally see that the seemingly dead Chi-Wan Mo was not dead. And what surprised him was that Zhang Chen should have the strength to kill Chi-Wan Mo. Why has he been holding off the killer? Looking at Zhang Chen's previous methods, it seems that he has always wanted to seal Chi-Wan Mo. This why? Could it be that Zhang Chen was afraid of the immortal demon Ridge, so he didn't dare to kill? Oh! At this moment, Yin Xiantian, who had not taken action before, sacrificed an ancient pagoda. The ancient pagoda rose in the wind and blinked. The space became thousands of feet long, suspended in the sky above the exploding Chi-Wan Mo. A layer of fairy light barrier containing the pure Tao of Taiyan fell down, protecting the exploding blood mist. Gurgling. That piece of in the center of the blood mist, the energy of immortals and demons surged like spring water. A moment later, the Chi-Wan Mo that had exploded before quickly reunited. Secret method, rebirth with a drop of blood. Walk. After sacrificing the ancient pagoda, Yin Xiantian wanted to take control of the ancient pagoda and leave the secret realm of the immortal sect without saying a word. From the previous battles, Yin Xiantian had already seen that Zhang Chen's combat power was far beyond their ability. Suppression. If you continue to stay here, it will definitely be a dead end. Now, he finally understands why Zhang Jinghong, who has cultivated the innate spiritual pupil, has been indifferent, but encouraged them to take action. This is to kill someone with a borrowed knife? It's so insidious. But suddenly, Yin Suanation's expression suddenly changed. The Chi-Wan Mo, who had regrouped his body, originally looked at Zhang Chen fiercely, but then changed drastically. Crash. I don't know when, with Zhang Chen as the center, a radius of thousands of miles, the void is blocked by space chains. There are so many space chains, like a huge spider web, blocking all directions. Yin Xiantian and Qi Wanmo are in the center of those space chains. This makes the Yin Xiantian and the other two people did not dare to act rashly. The strange aura that filled the void gave him endless chills. If he is not careful, he may die. Now, ignoring anything else, Yin Xiantian and Qi Wanmo both used their trump cards to save their lives. 9 Taiyan fairy beads appeared above Yin Suanation's head. Each fairy bead was in the shape of a half-moon and crystal clear. At first glance, those Taiyan fairy beads appeared. Immortal beads are like 9-wheeled bright moons, containing endless immortal power. Tisk. In the center of the eyebrows of all demons, the unsealed ancient immortal and demon seal came out of the body and turned into the ancient immortal and demon seal. It was extremely terrifying. The aura of the immortal demon seal emanates from the immortal demon seal. Even if it is suppressed by the immortal magic, the terrifying aura of the immortal demon seal still makes people feel horrified. It is conceivable that if there is no immortal magic to suppress it, the creatures under the immortal Dao will, can definitely be easily suppressed. Outside the ancient immortal secret realm, have Yin Xiantian and Qi Wanmo been forced into a desperate situation? Even the life-saving trump card has been revealed. I'm afraid it's more likely to end in disaster. When did the space blockade last? How come you didn't notice it before? This Taisha demon son is amazing. Indeed, once he grows up, he may be able to compete with the gods of the immortal family. In the old city, countless creatures looked at Yin Xiantian and Qi Wanmo, who had sacrificed the ancient treasure but did not dare to move. They all started talking. Various exclamations resounded endlessly. In this situation now, but the creatures in the old city have never thought of it. After all, Yin Xiantian and Qi Wanmo both have amazing appearance, and their cultivation level has reached the supreme realm. With the two of them joining forces, it is impossible to deal with them. Zhang Chen's 2 incarnations were unavailable. But the result now is that a scene that they thought was impossible happened. When they first entered the God King realm, they were able to suppress the supreme level Qi Wan Mo and Yin Xiantian with the help of 2 incarnations. This, if the news spreads, the entire immortal realm will definitely be shaken. The name of Taisha demon son, Zhang Chen, will be as famous as the immortal family divine son, and will be famous in the immortal realm and heaven realm. In the immortal Sect secret realm. Fellow Taoist, you and I have no grudges at all. How about we each take a step back and say goodbye? Looking at Zhang Chen's 2 incarnations with indifferent expressions, Yin Xiantian spoke in a deep voice. Even with the presence of the Taiyan Immortal Pearl and the Taiyan God Tower, the chill in Yin Suanation's heart was still not weakened at all, and his whole body was filled with ice. Qi Wan Mo, who had become arrogant and domineering since he appeared, did not put Zhang Chen in his eyes. He treated him sternly and said nothing. Although he was arrogant, he was not stupid. It could be seen that he was already in trouble. Crisis. Pity. Zhang Chen looked at Yin Xiantian and the two of them, and seemed to be saying to himself rather regretfully. Both Yin Xiantian and Kiwan Demon have powerful origins and luck. If they can be swallowed and plundered, then you can definitely get a powerful opportunity. Unfortunately, although the 1 Chi transformation 3 purities can perfectly evolve the divine body treasure technique, it cannot evolve the system. Now, I am absorbing the opportunity of the ancient immortal on the ancient star of immortal power, and it will be difficult to come over in a short time. Naturally, this the origins and destiny of Yin Xiantian could only be missed. As for letting them go or fearing the Taoism behind them, Jiang Chen never thought about it. He had said before that no one from the immortal realm would enter the immortal realm. Whoever breaks the door must die. Not to mention, Qi Wanmo and others have already formed a life and death grudge against him.